let's look at EV charging stations. So first off, read this disclaimer carefully and do your good deed of the day by liking and subscribing. So we go to the Megatrends. So EVs charging stations, it's a separate theme from electric vehicles. And we do see that it is outperforming from the lows, but there's been a bit of a deeper correction. Well, frankly, given that the average is minus 55% from the highs, we could definitively say that these stocks have been in a bear market. So we will look at BLNK Charging. It's a rather interesting company in this space. And this is a huge theme. So here is BLNK Charging. This is their website. Here are their charging stations. We design, manufacture, own, and operate EV charging stations. As this whole electric car revolution develops, there's going to be a continuing demand for more of these charging stations. One of the challenges is how to commercialize the charging stations. The interesting thing is that there are many avenues for that, looking longer term, given that there is this electronic connections. There could be data sharing, from the car to the charging stations, which could be analyzed. So there's advertising potential. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen here. Subscription models, so I do think that there will be good ways to commercialize this going forward. So yes, it's definitively very interesting. And given that there are ways to invest in these companies now, easily on the stock market, we have seen that demand. We have also seen that there's been a correction. So it begs the question, is this an interesting opportunity to maybe get in here at a much lower price? So looking here long term at the stock chart, it goes very far back here. So I'm not entirely sure whether BLNK Charging has been doing the same thing throughout. Hence, I think we need to be a little bit careful about looking too far back. What we do see here, at least, is a rounding bottom and a monstrous breakout. And we could be forming, a very key technical pattern called the cup and the handle. That's a super classical technical pattern. We do see that recently there's been these relatively reliable time cycles. Rise, decline, rise, decline, rise, decline, rise, decline, rise, decline, rise, decline. So the time cycle suggests a rising phase here developing. So this is the long-term seasonality for BLNK. We do see that over here the last 14 years, August, September, October are weak. The challenge we do have is that this whole charging station theme has only recently really been gathering momentum. Now it's the time when it's taken really seriously, and it's easier for these companies to actually make the sale. So I think we also need to look at some of the more recent seasonality. So if you look here at, let's say, the last 10 years, then August, September, October, they are weak. That's not good. Over the last 5 years, August is weak, but September is, somewhat strong. Over the last 3 years, 2 years, August, it is characteristically weak. So that is just something we need to take into account. Notwithstanding that we do have this rising phase here that peaks, around, the middle-ish of August. So yeah, a bit of a conflict here between the seasonality and the time cycles. We do have an interesting support, the green 50-week moving average. It is currently working. As long as we are able to stay above that level, then I would lean very speculatively bullish here for BLNK Charging. It is a key moving average that also has mattered here in the past. Here, as an example, when we found support there, we did see a very substantial and continued rally. Going here to the daily data points, So here we have the red 200-day moving average. Support, rally. It is very unfortunate that we lost it. This is one of the reasons why I am quite fond of using technical support levels as, a very key line in the sand, because when we do break, you see instantly it did become a resistance. Here it was a support, it then failed, and then the sentiment changed. So we do certainly want to see the bulls get above here, notwithstanding that we do have that other support level right below us. Another thing here is this green 50-day moving average. It actually is pointing upwards. We do want to avoid the death cross, because that is another key signal that is watched by a lot of people, and frankly there's many investors that will not get BLNK charging on their bull stock list if we have a death cross. We did have the development here of an inverse head and shoulders pattern, but as you see that we were not able to break out above resistance. And what we do see is that when that failed, okay, so at this point this is a key technical bullish setup. But when it fails, that is when you have an accelerated move to the downside. So that's the key thing. So even though, yes, we did break down, the very ferocity of this breakdown actually validates the utility of the inverse head and shoulders pattern, because the disappointment was quite significant here. So yeah, we do have a bit of a mixed signal. We do, however, come from a low RSI level that has triggered previous rallies. So this time back here we had a low RSI. We did have a good rally here, the same RSI, well, very similar at least, and we did have a decent rally, which is in line with what we saw with the time cycles. We did just have that same event. Based on the two prior times, there is the expectation that we will see a rally. So there's that. Going here to Finviz, we do see that the price targets are significantly above the current stock price. So $32, $39, $38.67, that is bullish. Sachs do not have any ratings because this is one of the smaller companies. I mean, actually, the market cap is $1.3 billion, so I'm a bit surprised to see that they don't have any ratings here, because it is a big company actually at this point. So this, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but hopefully they will start to cover it soon. Yeah, that's interesting. Industry rank is very broad. It's in the top 13%, but it's electronics, miscellaneous services. So I think that this is way more specific. Yeah. Yeah, this is, yeah, so not much info here from Sachs. If we were to make some quick calculations based on the current stock price and some of the price targets, so if we take the lowest price target, that would be 19-ish% upside from the current stock price. If we were to take the highest price target, that's 109% upside. So taking all the evidence together, long term, I'm certainly bullish on this whole EV charging station theme. It is, however, a theme where there are very big moves. We have seen a huge correction from the highs, so definitively you do want to be nimble. Specifically here for BLNK charging, it's one of the leaders in this space. It is an interesting company. There are many ways to commercialize their services, going forward. There is a lot of demand for this product, and the technicals are overall they have a bullish lean. Fundamentals also have a bit of a bullish lean to them, even though we do not have that much information from Sachs. So yeah, I would be bullish here, but it is very contingent on the green 50-week moving average. I do want to have like a clean line in the sand as a stop level, because yeah, it's served me well for quite some time to have a very clear level. If we do break here, then I get out.